This is Umar Ahmed for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by the Everlast. It's the end of the night at the O2, Sunday night, a bit bizarre. What a night for yourself and Jordan Gill. I mean, Karam Gurfi, credit to him, what a performance from him. And then Jordan Gill pulls out one of the best knockouts I've ever seen.
And who would have ever thought that Jordan Gill's going to pull out one of the best knockouts you've ever seen, eh? Brilliant performance, brilliant fight. He perforated both eardrums, so he's been checked out. He's all right. That's the most important thing. He's fine, but him and his dad have gone over to the hospital. Nobody can get into the hospital with him, but he's just gone just to be checked out. The doctors are all happy with him and everything, so that's good. But yeah, what an eventful fight. Guerfi, we knew that at featherweight he's stronger. We watched him against Gargo at featherweight. He was at bantamweight. Can you imagine how much you drain yourself to make that? But we knew it was going to be a tough fight, and the experience of Guerfi and everything. But it turned into a tougher fight than what I thought. And obviously with the, I don't know what they call it, DT, whatever it is.
DTT, it's gone viral, that clip.
Yeah, it was bad. It was really bad. But yeah, because he couldn't feel his legs were unsteady. Come to the ropes, work off the ropes, and just defend and ride it out. And he did. I don't know what it looked like on TV or back, but up close, his defence was really, really good. It's what he practices in the gym, and it paid off tonight. So I'm over the moon for him. It meant everything from that. That's like a world title fight to us. Do you know what I mean? European title, it's a prestigious title. It means a lot. It's the route that he's been wanting to go for the last 3 years, really, even before the Tinoco fight. So it meant everything to him, and it showed.
I know as a trainer you want your guy to go in there, be punch perfect, dominate from the start to finish, don't take any punishment. But, as fans, sometimes we love to see this where, at one point, just before he pulled a knockout out, it looked like he could have got stopped at any point. Whether you threw the towel in or the ref stopped it, the eye was that bad and it was taking a lot of shots. But then hang on, big man's coming in, we'll just move here. Mind that for the champ. Hang on, we'll go outside. Just pick this back up with Dave Coldwell. Lawrence Okoli just walked in the building. Yeah, Dave, what I was saying was, as a trainer, you'd want the complete performance from Jordan, but as a fan watching that, when he's gone through such hardship and has that grit, that heart, that will to just keep on going and pull that out of the bag, when no one really thought he'd be able to win that fight at that point. It's even better as a fan.
Yeah, do you know? I said to him after, it's a twat, because he said in the hotel room today, he said to me because of the way that I box, people don't think I'm tough. He says, but I'm a tough bastard, I said, no. I said, but I don't want to see that. I said, I don't want to see it. And then tonight, literally a few hours after he said that to me, he's proven that how tough he is. So, yeah, it's not something that you want to see, and it's hard because he's family, so it's not nice. But like I said, the fight meant everything to him. Everything was right on it. You heard Eddie at the press conference saying, you don't win this fight, you're finished. It's a lot of pressure going in, and I felt that he felt the pressures tonight when he was in the ring, when he did his ring walk. I know the kid, and I know that he felt the pressure, and he was a little bit tense, a little bit tight, and that's why it took him a bit to get going. And then his eardrum goes, and then your balance goes, and then you have to manage the situation how you can.
If he wants to compete right at the top of the sport, it's good perhaps in a way that he's gone through that, so he knows that when it does get dark at the top level, he can come through it.
Yeah, because again, like you say, we don't want to, as a coach, you don't want to see that, but it's nice, and it's nice for you guys, the fans. You want to see, do they have that mettle? Do they have that toughness? When you watch a kid that's predominantly a boxer and looks to hit and not get hit, how are they going to react when shit goes wrong and when it becomes a tough fight? Because, like you said, at that world level, inevitably you're going to have to tough it out at points, even if it's just toughing it out in spots, and then you can get back to your boxing. Or it turns out where it's a full-blown war like that, and it's a tough night. And he showed that he has got that toughness. It's more about himself, answering questions himself, a fighter knowing what they can do themselves, rather than who you're fighting, what you're fighting for, whatever. You need to tick those boxes as you're going along.
Congratulations on a fantastic night for Jordan and yourself, and glad to hear that he's okay. We'll see him back at the hotel shortly. Just quickly before we close off, we'll have to ask you about last night, where we saw something quite horrific with the scorecards. I think one of them was 114 to 111 to Taylor, and Taylor winning a split decision against Jack Catterall.
It doesn't matter what I say, what promoters say, what media say. It's about time the Board of Control actually did something about it, because if I do something wrong as a manager or a promoter does something, if we do something, okay, Peter McDonough shoves somebody away or something, gets banned, right? What's that? That's nothing. But they get you up in front of the board if you do things like that. But then a judge who's got a fighter's career, livelihood, and let's not forget, these are prize fighters. So forget the dreams for a minute. You're trying to secure your family's future. When you take a loss, your money goes down, your pay scale goes down. You don't go up. And if you take a win and you become world champion, your money skyrockets. It changes your entire life. And these people have got fighters' careers in the hand. Unfortunately for Jack Catterall, it wasn't just a world title that he missed out on. Mate, he got screwed over being. Imagine being screwed over being undisputed champion of the world. Undisputed. That shit's not going to happen again, because Taylor moves up, the belts get split up, and then you've got to look at the division in. How likely is it that he's going to go through and collect all the belts and become undisputed? So that is a once in a lifetime opportunity. You go in there, you perform absolutely fantastic, outstanding. Everything's brilliant, and then you get that. I feel for him, and I feel for Jamie and for Nigel, because I know what they put into it, and I know how much they care about their fighters. They'll feel that pain themselves to know what it meant to Jack. But for me, the board have got to, like I said, we're held accountable. Everybody's held accountable. But these judges can just, there's a bit of a fuss. We're speaking about it. Everybody's speaking about it, and then off they trot. They say, okay, we'll have a meeting with them. We have them in front of the board. We don't get to know what's being said, and it's like, off you go. You see them at the next show. They're doing the same job, but they're doing it over and over again, and that's the problem. Is it's over and over again, and it's not just isolated incidents. I just feel as though they should be held accountable. So you should be allowed, or the TV channel should be allowed to stick a mic in front of them and say, okay, mate, how did you scored this fight? Everybody else is saying this. You scored this fight this way. You scored that round for him. How did you come up with that? What did you see? At least if they're explaining it, and they say, well, from where I was sat, it didn't look like the shots were landing. Blah, blah, blah. It looks like he was landing these shots. That's how I scored that round. You might not agree with it, but at least you can go, okay, you explain yourself. Okay, I can have that. Because we can't all agree. Boxing's subjective. And some people like one style, and another person like Mike another style. So it's always going to be controversial in certain aspects. But when they just can disappear off, go about their own lives, and the fighters and the teams have to pick up the pieces of a decision like that, there's no... By having them... It's almost like cloak and dagger. So fans, boxers, people in the sport can look at it and say, well, it's corrupt. Because you're not standing up yourself. You're not telling them what it's about when it's blatant what's going on. And I just think that the board do a great job. They do a great job governing the sport. They really do. But what they've got to remember is that we pay our license fees to them. We have to pay for a license, be it a coach, be it a manager, be it a promoter, be it a fighter. So we pay for their giving them permission to box.
Will that change quickly?
They should be held accountable for what they decided on with our fighters and their livelihoods. I just think it's shit how they can just disappear and it's all swept under the carpet, and then nothing will happen. They'll have a slap on the wrist or whatever, have a chat. Rob Smith or the board will be satisfied, and then it'll happen again in a couple of shows' time, and it's just a circle. So, like I said, whatever we say, nothing gets done. It has to come from the board, because if they want to protect their brand, BBBFC, because they do a fantastic job, but they're tarnishing it by being secretive about this and not having. Why are they not allowed to be interviewed? Why? Because you're protecting them. Why? What for? Everybody else gets interviewed. Everybody. A fighter can go out there and get beat, feel embarrassed and be upset, and he gets interviewed. Well, why can't you be interviewed because of where you've scored a fight?
Totally agree. Dave Coldwell, once again, well done with Jordan tonight. I look forward to what's next, all right? Thanks for your time. Speak soon.
Thanks, mate. Tough.